And we are live. Welcome for this weekly live stream on the latest and greatest news in Ethereum and DeFi. I'm Julian, your host, and on Eat the Blocks, I teach blockchain development. Hi to everybody in the chat. We have Crypto Michael, Trendlet Kai, George Kenichi, Krong, Joe Biden. Hi guys, hi. So, first announcement this week. So, next week, on Tuesday at 11 p.m. UTC plus 8, I'm gonna do a free training on how to become a blockchain developer and get your first six-figure blockchain job. So this is gonna be a free training. This is for complete newbie who are new to the industry and they want to know how they can get from where they are now to a position where they have a job in the blockchain industry, well paid, interesting, remote, everything. So I'm going to explain the method that I've used myself as well as thousands of my students. That's how we did to get our first blockchain job. So if you want to attend, you have to register. You just give me your name and email and I will send you the link a couple of hours before the live training. This is going to be next week. So August 3rd at 11 p.m. UTC plus 8. This is for newbies. Next announcement. So this week we're going to do another live stream on Friday at 11 p.m. UTC plus 8. This is going to be to vote for the winning project for the ETB project. So ETB project, this is a series of hackathon where we build project on top of the ETB token, the project, the token of Eat the Blocks. And so the first project is a voting app that allows to vote based on the number of tokens we have. So we have a couple of people who participated and they're gonna do a demo this Friday. And so I'm gonna show you their demo, and after that we are going to vote and the winner is going to win $1,000 plus we're gonna use his code after. So you're gonna see this live stream on my channel, and if you want more info on the ETB project, you can check out this page on GitHub. Then we have a quick message from our sponsor, Nervos. So what is Nervos? Nervos is a blockchain platform for universal applications. The Nervos Network is an open source public blockchain ecosystem and a collection of protocols so that you can create the next generation of public network. And I'm really excited to announce that Nervos is going to make big waves in August because they're going to launch a new program called August for Builders, where basically they're inviting all blockchain developers to participate in beta testing of their newly launched layer 2 solution. So they have a basic blockchain and they also have a layer 2 solution, one called Polyjuice and so Polyjuice Godwoken. They're two layer 2 solution, and they also have a bridge that they call the Force Bridge. So it's really a full ecosystem. And they also have a campaign of Gitcoin bounties, so that you can make money if you solve some of their bounties. And finally, they are going to launch a DEX on the platform called SushiSwap. And this is gonna be open for beta testing throughout the month of August. And so if you are interested in Nervos, you can check out this link. I put it in the chat. And we also going to do a workshop video on August 5th on my channel. So we're going to do a deep dive in their technology. And for that, we're going to have a developer of Nervos. So I'm super excited to check out this blockchain together. Okay, so we're going to continue with the price of Ether. So finally, guys, good week. I was losing hope, like it just seems like it couldn't keep the floor at 2000 and boom, we smashed it. Boom, finally. So I don't know if this is the return of the bull market. It's too soon to say, but what is really nice is that you can see that here we are going up on a very strong volume, and it's very, very important because if you go up with a low volume, it's not really significant. So hopefully it's going to continue. We will see. Generally, during summer, the market is very crazy. So whether it goes up, whether it goes down, I wouldn't worry too much. We have to wait for fall for September to really see what's the direction of the market in general. When it comes to the gas price, it's always very important to keep an eye on the gas price. We are stable, even though it's going up a bit, but not too much. You can see like we're still maintaining this big drop that we had before, so that's good because the network is more usable. Then we have some news on Ethereum 2.0. So we have exceeded 200,000 validators. Like, that's absolutely huge. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of months ago when we went above 100,000 validators, I already told you how amazing it was, how it was just way above any other blockchain. I mean, I believe like the next biggest blockchain in terms of number of validators is probably something like 10,000 validator or maybe 15,000. So that really show you like Ethereum is really an order of magnitude above in terms of technology. You have all these other blockchain and say, oh, we're gonna beat Ethereum, we're gonna be more scalable. Okay, how many validator you have? Yeah, because it's easy to get very scalable when you have a 21 validators like Binance Smart Chain. So when you see metrics like this, that really show you the power of Ethereum. And so currently there are 6.6 million of Ether that are being staked. So these Ether are locked for a couple of years until we do the transition complete to Ethereum 2.0. So that's a total of $14 billion. And so 6.6 million. So you can compare this with the total supply of Ether, which is about 120 million. So that's about 5% of the total supply, but it's going to keep growing. And of course, the more Ether that is locked, the more bullish it is, because this Ether cannot be sold on the open market. Then we have some news from Reddit. So Reddit launched some community point a couple of months ago, and so they announced that they are scaling the community points by using Arbitrum rollup. So Arbitrum is a technology for L2 scaling solution, but itself, this is not a chain. So any developer, any project can build their own integration with their own implementation of Arbitrum. So Reddit is going to use this tech to scale the community point, and they're going to start with by doing it on the Rinkeby testnet, and then they're going to migrate to mainnet. So it's really cool. The team of Reddit, they are quite adventurous. They're always looking to create a new cool thing. And it's super cool that they chose Ethereum, because, Reddit is this huge social network. And it's much more open compared to Facebook or one of these huge giant social media. So, and at the same time, they can experiment by just putting the community point on the blockchain. So themselves, they don't take too much risk. So I think it could be a great way to really showcase Ethereum for at a production scale, because Reddit, they have this huge amount of users. So very, very bullish for us. Then we have some news from the Seller blockchain. So they have launched a new bridge that can instantly do some token transfer between Ethereum, Arbitrum, and a couple of side chains. So more integration for Ethereum. Then we have some news from Starkware. So Starkware, which is another project that does its own implementation of optimistic rollup, and so they of zero knowledge rollup, sorry. And so they are launching their alpha version for one of their networks. So this is going to be one more L2 scaling solution. It's really, really good that we have this big competition right now on Ethereum, because I really feel right now the focus is being put back on Ethereum. Like, if you go back maybe 6 months ago, there was like Binance Smart Chain, there were like all these copycat of Ethereum right and left, and it seems like now the discussion is coming back to Ethereum. We are really comparing the L2 scaling solution, but of Ethereum, and it's going to be much harder for all the blockchain to compete with this. So So this is still very early for Starkware, but it's good that they are still making some progress. Then some news from Optimism. So on July 20, the Optimism team announced that they will commit all the earnings of their project to fund public goods. And so Vitalik Buterin made a guest appearance and explained how we could create a public good DAO, and then that could create that could be good, that could create the right incentives for the creators. So maybe we're gonna have some innovation with DAO after this announcement. Then we'll have some news from ETHCC, which is one of the big Ethereum conference. So this just happened in Paris, and this is probably one of the most underrated, by the way, probably one of the most underrated conference for Ethereum. This is really for builders. This is not as high profile as a DevCon. This is way cheaper to attend. But in terms of quality of the presenter, in terms of the vibe, this is probably one of the best. The food was great too. You know, often you go to conference, you pay your ticket like $1,000, $2,000, and the food is disgusting. ETHCC, you know, this is in France. I mean, you know, I'm French. If there is one thing we can be proud of, it's food, right? So usually the food is pretty good and it's super interesting. And so you can watch all the videos on this YouTube channel. Next, we're gonna continue with the news on DeFi. So the market cap of DeFi continue to recover. We're still very far from the peak of a couple of months ago. We are at about $60 billion, but still this is good. We are going in the right direction. So here we can see this big plunge in the chart. I'm pretty sure this was a technical glitch because nothing bad happened during the past week for the market. In terms of ETH locked in the system, we are plateauing here. So we about almost 10 million ETH. And in terms of the ranking of the protocol, so Aave is still far in front of everybody else with a $12 billion. Curve Finance, Compound, Instadap that was number 2 a couple of weeks ago. Uniswap still hasn't recovered, still very far. SushiSwap still far behind Uniswap. And we have a QuickSwap, which is basically the leading DEX on Polygon. Now that start to be bigger and bigger. I think this is the biggest project on Polygon right now, 1 billion. And as we go, that'd be interesting to see that all this Polygon project going higher and higher in the chart. Then let's check the crypto fees. So this is basically a dashboard that tells you what are the protocols that earn the most money. So this compares both blockchain and protocol. And so here we see a change in the chart. So Binance Smart Chain is catching up on Ethereum, and he actually went above Uniswap. So Uniswap was above Binance Smart Chain, but now Binance Smart Chain is catching up. Uniswap V2 is strange. Uniswap V2 is very close to V3, so that means the migration isn't complete yet. And Aave, Compound, SushiSwap. I mean, you can see like the top earner for the protocol. This is still on Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is just so far below. You know, like mainstream media, they are just focused on this line here, but just completely missing the point. That means that a protocol like SushiSwap, which is the mainstream media, of course, doesn't know anything about SushiSwap, but right now, SushiSwap is making more money than Bitcoin. Okay, so next, we're going to continue with the top winners and losers for the DeFi coin. So that was a very good week for everybody. So Hejik plus 90%, MP coin, MP token plus 70%, Reserve Right token plus 60%, the token of Rari plus 60%. So NFT are doing well at the moment. Venus, which is one of the leading projects on Binance Smart Chain, plus 50%. So yeah, we have this big push in tokens right now. And when it comes to the loser, we have very few losers this week, almost none. And it's really difficult to lose money this week. Okay, so next we have some news from SushiSwap. So SushiSwap is back from the dead. SushiSwap with a Uniswap v3, they kind of lost it to Uniswap big time recently. We didn't. So sometime we heard like they were doing some new project like a token launchpad or something, but to me it always felt like a gimmick compared to Uniswap, because really the big innovation in a DEX space, it was Uniswap v3, and I think SushiSwap, I was afraid they were just doing their little side project right and left, but it seems no, they've been working all along on something super serious. So they're announcing they're working on a new generation of decentralized exchange that they will call Trident. And basically this is inspired by some discussion they had with Andre Cronje from Yearn Finance. So this is a completely new development. This is not going to be a fork of Uniswap v3, and this is very important because with the new license of Uniswap v3, you cannot fork it. If you fork it, they will sue you. So now they've learned their lesson, they protected themselves, and so other projects have to innovate. And so this new generation of DEX is going to offer 4 kind of pools. So one, which is a constant product pool, where you're gonna have 2 assets of equal value weight. So it's basically what we have now. So a simple pool. Then mixed pools. Then we have mixed pools. Then centralized pool that require user to specify a price range for token asset to increase liquidity. So it's basically Uniswap v3. And then weighted pool that can be composed of assets with different weights. So it seems to me they are sort of combining what we have in Uniswap. So basically they're combining the old version of Uniswap with the new version of Uniswap with Balancer. So it's quite interesting, but I hope that they're gonna come up with innovation of their own, really. And on top of that, they're gonna do some innovation on the front end as well. So they're gonna have a better way to write the order in order to really basically reduce the slippage by going to the smart. Basically they want to come up with the best pass in all their pools, so that you, the trader, you pay the least amount of slippage possible, the least amount of gas cost, etc. So it'll be really cool to see a real innovation from SushiSwap and not just some copy from somewhere else. And then there is this article in the Defiant that explains how you can farm up to 152 APR in Balancer Polygon pool. So yeah, so Balancer now is on Polygon, and you can go full degen with super high yields at the moment. Super cool. Okay. Then we're gonna continue with news from Cream Finance. So Cream Finance, which is a leading lending protocol on Binance Smart Chain. And so they are going to create a stable coin based on euro. So interesting, yeah, because right now all the stable coin, they are based on the US dollar, nothing on the euro. So it's going to bring more European user to the market. Then we have some news from Uniswap. So Uniswap announced that they are going to remove certain tokens from their interface. So here, let's be clear. They remove this token from the front end, but of course they cannot remove this token from the back end. So from their smart contract, because this is a decentralized protocol and this is a permissionless protocol. So anybody can create any liquidity pool. Nobody controls this, but they're just saying that basically you can still trade this token if you want, but not using their front end. You have to create your own front end. And they are doing this on about 100 tokens. And these tokens are basically about tokenized stocks, options, and derivatives. Options on Ethereum. But mainly, it seems it's everything that is really competing directly with Wall Street, especially for tokenized stocks. If you guys remember, Binance, the exchange, Binance had to remove their tokenized stocks from the exchange also because they started to have some regulatory scrutiny. So I think this is a prudent decision of Uniswap. That shows you that Uniswap is also is sensitive to pressure from the US because most of their team are in the US. The CEO, I think he is in New York. So they cannot just even though they work on the blockchain, they can also be arrested if they don't comply. But it doesn't change the fact that the protocol is still decentralized, so you can still trade this token from other front end if you want. Okay, and this is not the first time they do this. I think they were criticized, but I think that was 1 year or 2 years ago. They basically banned their front end to be accessed from Iran, and at that time there was a huge backlash against Uniswap. From my point of view, I don't think it's a big deal. You can just create your own front end. Okay, so then we're going to continue with fundraising. So Thesis, which is a crypto venture studio, so basically they help to build a couple of blockchain projects. They have raised $21 million. And so with this fresh capital at hand, they are going to launch new projects, so including a Web3 wallet, etc. So by the way, guys, if you are new on my channel, the reason why I give information about all these companies that raise money is because when companies raise money, they have to spend it very fast. That means they're going to hire a lot of people. So if you're a blockchain developer, you're looking for your first blockchain job, you hear about a company that is raising money. What does it mean? If you're interested in this company, you send your CV right away. And because they need to spend the money fast. So just by being one of the first already you win. Then we have some news from Magic, which has raised $27 million. So Magic is a company that is working on a solution to improve the UI UX of users for a blockchain application. Especially they developed their passwordless logging solution. So Magic is really working on something very important because one of the biggest barrier to entry for new user is the UI UX. Like when you're new and you have to use MetaMask and you have to connect the MetaMask, and oh my god, this is like so bad. So I've used their passwordless logging, and this is pretty good, and it can work both for blockchain but also for non-blockchain application. So I do think they are onto something really good. Next, we have some news from FTX, which is a big crypto exchange, and they managed to raise $900 million. So I think they broke I think this is the absolute record for a crypto company. I don't think any crypto company raised more money than this, apart from in an IPO, of course. So congrats to them, and they are doing this in the middle. At the beginning of a bear market. So that's pretty impressive. The previous record here that was set by Circle, which raised 440 million in May. So it's also a good metrics that crypto companies are raising more and more money. That means they're really getting bigger and bigger. Next. We're gonna talk of a DeFi hack. So we had one DeFi hack this week from Thorchain, which already had a hack last week, and so this time they lost $8 million, and that's because the hacker apparently wanted to teach them a lesson, because apparently he wanted originally he could have stole for way more money. So I don't know. Are we supposed to thank the hacker for his nice gesture? Oh, thank you. You just stole 8 million instead of 20 million. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Then we're gonna talk NFT. Okay. So here we have our dashboard for NFT price, for secondary price. So here we keeps going up. So we are clearly in a bull market for NFT, not for all collection. So, for example, on Super Rare is still going down, but for example, yeah, Art Blocks is doing well, and the CryptoPunk not doing well. VFriends doing well, Bored Apes. So it really depends on the collection, but in general, it's going up. Then we have some news from OpenSea, which is the biggest NFT marketplace, also the oldest, and they raised $100 million for a total valuation of 1.5 billion. So that's really huge. So they raised money from A16Z, which is one of the most prestigious investment fund in the US, very involved in crypto recently. And so with this capital, they're going to continue to scale their NFT platform. They're gonna hire a lot of people, of course, and now they are also working on adding transactions on the Polygon platform that will enable them to scale really a lot. And yeah, I mean that's like NFT, they are much more sensitive to low transaction price compared to DeFi, because DeFi, you have wealth. I mean, in DeFi you have two categories. You have wealth and you have a retail investor. But rares, they can afford huge transaction fees because they are trading so much. Retails not so much. But when it comes to NFT, you have a lot of NFT that have a low price, especially when it comes to game. So it's even more important for NFT that we have this scalable blockchain. So it's great to see Polygon that is getting a lot of traction, not only in DeFi but also in NFT now. Okay, so talking of Polygon, so Polygon, which is currently the leading L2 scaling solution on Ethereum, Polygon is raising a $100 million fund to support blockchain game developer and NFT creators. So obviously there is this huge push of Polygon for NFT at the moment. Very smart. And then we have some news from basically a new series of NFT that is called Stoner Cats, and apparently there are gonna be some famous crypto people in there, like a Vitalik Buttering, also some actor. They're gonna be Ashton Kutcher, etc. So I think it has the potential of CryptoPunk. So yeah, if you're into NFT, check this out. These are probably gonna be very expensive, so maybe it's a bit hard to buy them in whole, but probably you can buy like a fractional NFT of a Stoner Cat by using NFTX, for example. Okay, so then we have some news from a project called Autograph NFT. So this is a new project that's going to allow anyone with a Twitter account to digitally sign NFT. So that means that celebrities, influencers, etc. can sign token at the request of their fans. So that's very very smart way to monetize, to allow all these influencers to monetize their audience. Then we have a new project, ZK NFT. So that's basically a proof of concept NFT marketplace, which is built on a ZK Sync, which is a L2 zero knowledge scaling solution. Then we have a new project called POW NFT. So this is a project that allows you to lend and borrow NFT. So basically a sort of compound for NFT. So very smart. We haven't seen a lot of projects like this so far. I think it has a lot of potential. Then we have this interesting article from Dap Radar that explain the recent big increase in blockchain games, especially Axie Infinity, Crypto Blade, Alien World, and here, especially if you're interested in Axie Infinity, so recently Axie Infinity is this game that had this crazy increase. It's growing like crazy. And so here this article explains what's going on. So if you are into blockchain game, you absolutely have to check Axie Infinity It's really where it's happening at the moment. Okay, so now we're going to talk of enterprise blockchain and regulation. So we have sad news. So the Ethereum developer Virgil Griffith is back in jail after allegedly checking his Coinbase account. So he violated the terms of his bail and now he's in custody. So this is a researcher that so he spent so he went to North Korea I think a couple of years ago, and he did some conference about blockchain. But the U.S. government really didn't like it, and basically because of all the sanction on North Korea, they basically said that they claim that he was helping North Korea to evade a sanction, which I think is total bullshit because this information that he gave them is completely public. Like everything we do on the blockchain is public. North Korea doesn't need to have the help of an Ethereum developer if they want to evade a sanction. So yeah, this case is total bullshit, and that's very, very sad. Programming is free speech. It shouldn't end up like this. Then. We have some news from Binance. So Binance US is looking to do an IPO. And so this is from the mouth of CZ, their CEO. So this is true. So CZ said that right now the crypto space is start to be heavily regulated. So Binance has to make a big pivot from a technology startup into a financial service company. But of course, this is not by chance he's saying this now. If you've been following the news the past few weeks, the past few months, you've heard all the terrible news on Binance. Like in all these countries, they have the regulators that approach them and that tell them, hey, we're going to shut you down. You have to stop your services now. So there is like almost this coordinated action from all these countries that really attacked Binance. It's because Binance, yeah, that's true. So I think they're incorporated in Malta, and they haven't worked as hard as Coinbase to be regulated in a big country. So I think now they realize that they probably have no choice but to be regulated in the US, so that the US authorities stop to harass them, and after all the other country they're just going to follow suit. But there is also another possibility, which is that, as I already mentioned, is that Coinbase that recently did their IPO. Now they have a lot of money, and they're probably also looking to buy Binance. So it's not impossible if during this year we hear a big announcement of Coinbase that say, hey, okay, we want to Binance, we make you an offer, I don't know, like $50 billion, you can accept or not. So it's also a possibility. Okay, so then we have some news from European regulators that want to set some new rules for crypto, especially when it comes to AML. So they want to require all the crypto service providers to enforce some strict KYC policy to detect money laundering and terrorism financing, blah, blah, blah. And also want to prohibit anonymous crypto wallets. So I think this one is really crazy because basically anybody can create an anonymous crypto wallet. So technically this is just not feasible. So this is probably, they're just probably a little bit uninformed. Like they need to keep working or keep doing some research. They're not ready yet to do regulation, I think. Okay, so then we have some news from the Central Bank of South Korea, which is working on their central bank, on their CBDC. And so they've hired a blockchain company to design what it could be. So now, really, most central bank, they are working on their CBDC. So maybe that this year we're going to see the first CBDC in production, and next year probably we're going to have this huge wave of CBDC. Okay, so next. So there was a rumor this week on Twitter that Amazon may accept Bitcoin as a payment next year. And so that was basically one of the main reasons for the crypto rally this year. So thank you, Amazon, but I hope this is true. Then we have some news from Chain Analysis and PayPal. So a top executive of a Chain Analysis is gonna move to PayPal in order to help them to navigate the crypto regulation. So PayPal right now is doing this big move into crypto, and they're hiring in every direction. And finally, last news. So on the Definity blockchain. So Definity is facing a class action lawsuit because the ICP token is considered an unregistered security. So in other words, Polychain, I didn't see that. Polychain, Andreessen A16Z, and Definity founder have also been implicated in the suit. Okay, this is not cool because Polychain and AZ is basically A16Z. They are one of the biggest investor in crypto. Okay, this is not cool. Okay, well, I hope everything's gonna be fine for these guys. Okay, so now we are going to do the Q&A. Quick reminder. So next week, so Tuesday, so August 3rd at 11 p.m. UTC plus 8, I'm going to do a free live training on how to get your first blockchain job remote and making $100,000 a year. So I'm going to explain you the method I used for myself, the method I've been teaching the thousands of students of Eat the Blocks. So if you are a newbie and you're wondering how you can break into the industry, you have to attend this training. This is completely free. This is going to be a video training. We're going to do this over Zoom. And you have to register so that I can send you the link to the training. All right, guys, so I'm going to scroll up and check out the questions. So who do we have? We have Ari Sichoid, Synapse, THX, Cesar, PLV, Aja080, SK. We are on the path to 10,000. Yes, O'Neill Bronson. Yes, Iga80 saying go Binance Smart Chain. Fernando saying you are great. A hug from Colombia, America South. Thanks, man. Ruben. The company got to have meaning though. Ryan Morning, you awesome, Julian. I love your content very much. Thank you from USA. Thanks, Ryan. Synapse Nervosa, if you call it, that would be crazy. Oh, I think you're talking of the possibility that Coinbase tried to buy Binance. Yeah. Byron Katz, ETH transactions and flash loans still very expensive. When is the Binance Smart Chain flash loan update? So the code should be available in about 2-3 weeks. Batman is working on it. So Batman is the support staff of Eat the Blocks. Iga080, wow, A16Z, yeah, it's very surprising. Is in the lawsuit because usually like this guy is very smart. He's always managed to have like so many lawyers that protect him from every direction. So I really don't know how this can happen. John Hill, can you teach me to write a smart contract for a game? So I would suggest to first learn Solidity, blockchain development in general, and when you know how to do this, then you start to search for NFT tutorials. I do have some NFT tutorials on my channel, but first start with the basic of a blockchain dev. Artem Altufiev, hey, is it possible to use external tokens on the testnet like USDC? If so, how can I do it? So there is no official deployment of USDC on testnet. It's just each project that develop their own version. You can just deploy an ERC20 on testnet and you call it USDC, and here you go, you have your USDC. Gregory is saying, come to San Francisco. I would love to. Cesar, Bitcoin forever. Yeah, why not? But I prefer Ethereum. Ryan, is it possible to get blockchain job without a degree? Yes. Blockchain companies maybe accept the top one, and even in general, in the tech industry of general, degrees are less important. This is not a regulated activity. You don't need a sort of license to be a programmer. You just need to be good. So if you can demonstrate to any company that you're a good developer, that will always take you over some guy who come from, I don't know, Stanford or MIT, but the guy cannot code. Of course, if you have a big degree, of course that's a bonus. But if you don't have it, really don't stress over it. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Ari, for you, in which specific field of blockchain the next big innovation should be made? Bridge, NFT, DeFi. Okay, so I do think now for DeFi we start to see a little bit more hurdles from regulators. So it's not, so especially regulators, they don't like when we try to do like tokenized stocks or this kind of thing. So I don't think DeFi is under threat under the short term, but let's say there is some resistance coming. But when it comes to DeFi, I think DeFi regulators are not going to care so much. I meant game and NFT. When it comes to game and NFT, regulators are not going to care so much. So I think short middle term there is a huge potential to grow the market for basically if you can bring DeFi to NFT and to blockchain game, I think that's a very smart way to go, like mixing the two. Khalid Hilabi, is there a limit for the amount of addresses in one contract array variable? Good question. No, but there is it costs money to store data on the blockchain. So the more data you put on a smart contract, the more it costs you. So so that's probably going to be your practical limit. Gregory, check out Flow Protocol and Dapper Labs. Yeah, Flow Protocol. So this is the blockchain of Dapper Lab built for games. Absolutely. Irfan, smart contract security. Please, can we have a dedicated course in detail of all the hacks? Yeah, that's a very good idea. So I don't know if you're aware of it, but we have 2 live training on security right now. So you go to the catalog of the course of Hit the Blocks, and the first live training, this is about smart contract security from the point of view of the developer. So you try to protect yourself against a hacker. This is defensive. And the next live training, this is from the point of view of a smart contract auditor. So this time you try to put yourself in the feet of a hacker, and you try to attack an existing smart contract. So already check out these 2 live training. We might do a full course later, but already with this you should learn a few things. And these 2 live trainings, they were not done by me, but they were done by another instructor who is a specialist in cybersecurity since many years. So that's a guy who is really solid. People who took these 2 live training, they loved them absolutely. Iga080, have you seen any example of cross-chain governance meeting? Example, I am on Binance Smart Chain and I want to control farms minting on Polygon. Example of cross-chain governance or minting. No, this is super tough, because if you want to do anything cross-chain, usually this is centralized. So that's tough. Gregory, about security, how do you think about threat management tools, techniques, tips? Okay, so I refer you, check out the curriculum of these 2 live training, because the instructor of these 2 live training has more interesting things to do than me. Daniel Miller, how do I validate if a coin like USDC on the Polygon network is legit, and how does the price follow the native coin? Good question. So I would go to the website of the project of USDC, and probably they have a page where they list all their deployment. Now it's possible that you have a sort of third party that create a coin which is pegged to USDC on Polygon. So in this case, you have to trust the creator of the project that their peg is working. So yeah, so first of all, check the website of the project to see if they have other deployment, and second, try to understand if they have like third-party pegged deployment. Okay, THX saying thanks for the information about the American sharing his information to North Korea. I'm gonna follow what happens. Yeah, scary case, huh? Savu Victor, have you heard about Elron? If you know, you should look it up. I think you will like it. Okay, yeah, I just heard the name, but I haven't tried it. Thank you. Artem, how can I use USDC on mainnet? Let's say I want to sell some information as NFT to accept payment in USDC, but not ETH. You mean you want to accept payment? Well, so if you want to accept payments, crypto payments, there are a couple of solutions. So you have Coinbase. What is this? Coinbase wallet? Coinbase merchants? Oh, I don't remember, but there is a service from Coinbase. There is I think a Coinify, a couple of basically payment provider for crypto. A lot of them are pretty restricted in terms of the number of coins that they offer. So you probably has to do some research to find a provider that is appropriate for you. But if you want to accept crypto payment in just one coin, actually you could build your own project. It's not too difficult. Okay, then Erfan saying I purchased both. Oh, I think you're talking of the live training on smart contract security. Great. RTM saying how to calculate what is the price of smart contract deployment. Basically, you can deploy this to a local development blockchain like a Ganache, and it's going to tell you how much gas it used to deploy the contract. Then you multiply this gas cost by the current gas price on the network, and here you have your price. Ari Sichoy, do you plan to have a class on regulation and legal aspect of the blockchain industry? I'm hesitating to becoming a company in Canada because I don't know the legislation. Not at the moment, but I have to tell you that the Blocks is really growing, and so right now we are hiring more and more teachers. So currently we are focused more onto technical stuff, but it's not impossible that at some point in the future we start to look at this kind of topic. But thanks for the suggestion. Iga080, thank you. You're the man. Have a good week. Have a good week. Thanks, man. Reeve R, what do you think about FTM? I don't know FTM. Bab Achea, what about my road to blockchain developer B? I'm starting from zero and I just learned the basics of HTML, CSS. I'm doing the basics of JavaScript now. My plan is to look into React next and then Solidity. Okay, so this is a good plan. And you also need to know how you're going to use this knowledge in order to get your first blockchain job. Because if you just have the knowledge in itself, it's useless if you cannot get a job. So, and if you want to learn this, I suggest to register for my live training next week. So I very rarely do that kind of live training. Yeah, register, and I'm going to explain how you can get your first blockchain job in the industry. Okay, so guys, I think we're almost done. So okay, last question. FTM is the Phantom Network. Oh yeah, I know the name, but yeah, I don't know much about them. Ari Sichoit, you're welcome. Have a good week. Okay, guys. So thanks everybody for coming. I will, and don't forget that this week on Friday we have another live streaming for ETB project. We're gonna vote on the best the best implementation for the first ETB project, and next week we have the free training how to become a blockchain developer. All right, guys, have a great week. See you soon. Bye bye.